Hello everybody, welcome or welcome back to BnB Anime. This week, I've been killing slimes for 300 years and have maxed out my level. That's not the name of an anime, it's just what I've been up to. How are you, Brad?
The pain.
Yep.
Pain.
Much
2 weeks
pain.
in a row, this shit has started. Elden Ring, that's been a thing.
Yeah.
It gets so hard to continue on with bits the more that this happened.
Yeah, it does. So, quick update for you guys listening at home. This is the second time that we have tried to record this podcast. I feel like this is becoming part of our weekly intro now. It's like part of the shtick. Because I was writing the spiel about how I had been through a very long haul conversation with my internet provider last week after our recording, and they realized that there was a problem within the whole district that I live in with the internet. And so I was just literally saying that I got a phone call while I was in a lecture about a day or two ago that I couldn't answer because I was in a lecture. And I was assuming that phone call was saying that they have fixed the internet in the area because they said they were going to update me when that shit was done. And then the call dropped. So...
Yep, they're a bunch of fucking liars. That's why I was cackling whenever you were going on about your bit, because you cut out again. So I was just cackling because I'm like, this shit.
Yeah, so we're back on the old-fashioned way of recording again. Hopefully we can make something work with this. And if not, then you may get another amalgamation style like last week. We'll see.
I mean, last week was my editing masterpiece, so I'll take it.
Nice.
What would have normally have taken me like 2.5, 3 hours took me like 7.
Yep.
It was a fun episode.
Sounds bad.
Oh, but yeah, Elden Ring, that's been a thing.
Yeah.
I've been having fun. I've been getting very pissed. It's been great. Also, I broke streaming retirement for like the first time in like 2.5 months to stream that today.
Nice.
So did that. That was the thing. Helping Walker move. He's moving in literally right next door. So that's nice.
Nice. What have I done? I have mint tea. I have to do a painting. Shock, I'm in art school. I have to do a painting. Who would have thunk?
Who would have thunk?
Right? Oh, I know what I've done. I watched a show.
Oh.
Yeah, I know, right? So there's, dumb reality TV. It's on Netflix. Sometimes you're having a bad day, you want to watch dumb reality TV. The thing about my Netflix, though, is it has been curated via the amount of anime that I watch to show me dumb Japanese reality TV. So, I've been watching myself some Love is Blind Japan. The idea of the reality show is that they have a group of lads, a group of ladies. They set them up in on dates, but there is a wall between them, so they cannot see the person that they're on a date with. They're isolated in these houses for 3 weeks or something while they're getting to know 2-3 weeks, I don't know, while they're getting to know each other purely on conversation. And then they go on a trip abroad once they've literally proposed to one person. They'll filter them down and find one person they match with. Then they go on a trip with a person, they see them for the first time. And within the next... the whole thing spans over 30 days or something. It spans over the time of a month. I'm not sure how long, but, then they spend some time living together, and then by the end of it, they're supposed to get married. It's the most insane concept, but it's very, very entertaining. And after I watched the Japan version, because the Japan version is only one season, I realized that it's based on an American version. I'm not sure. I'm assuming the American one came first, because the American one is just called Love is Blind, and then there's Love is Blind Japan, Love is Blind, I think, Brazil, multiple countries. They then took it global. But the original Love is Blind is just from America. And so I watched that one, and the difference between them is so interesting on a cultural perspective. For instance, when they finally see their partners, right? In the Japan version, it's like this beautiful scene, like they've staged it so it's like a bridge and then there's sakura trees and there's like water and everything, and they meet onto this, like walk up onto this bridge and they meet, and it's just like bowing and hugging, and like I think the most intimate one of the couples got was like a peck. Then you see the American version and it's like they're on top of each other, they're making out right off the bat, they're like grabbing each other's asses, like it's the difference in culture. And then even still throughout the rest of the show, the American couples very quickly go into what their nightlife is like, immediately, right off the bat, when they start living together or when they're on holiday together. But the Japanese version, they do not talk about sexual relations at all throughout the entire show, which is very interesting. Also, one thing that I thought was interesting, at the end of it, the American couples, when they got married, the marriage ceremony, they actually filed the paperwork, whereas spoiler, I guess this is spoilers? I don't know. No, it's not, because I'm not telling you who the couples were, but like, but for the Japan version, they had the option about like when they would file the paperwork. Like there was difference on the legality side of things that I thought was very interesting as well. But I highly recommend the Japan version. The American one is straight trash TV. The Japan one I feel like is more interesting from my perspective because it's like it's different from me. Like it's not my normal reality TV experience, so it's very interesting to watch. So if you don't watch a lot of like Asian reality TV or Japanese reality TV, I recommend checking it out because it's quite palatable, but it's also just like, I don't know, that it's like different in the way that the cultural experience is. I thought that was interesting.
I'm intrigued by that, for sure. That's definitely something that I think I would like to check out just for giggles.
Yeah, it's on Netflix. You should watch it. And then gossip with me about it.
I will totally do that just because, again, I'm curious because just the cultural difference.
Yeah.
Because I absolutely detest trash reality TV.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I hate it so much. Like, no one truly understands the disdain that I have for American reality TV.
Yeah.
So I would very much like to watch the Japanese version and see if it can change my mind on reality TV.
Yeah, well, it gave me the same kind of energy as like BBC reality TV, you know, like when you see those BBC documentaries on like, this person eats 300 pounds of cheese a day, let's follow him around for a week. Like that energy.
Oh.
It gives me that vibe. Like it's way more of a almost documentary style thing, like they're actually documenting their lives as they go through this experience. Whereas I'm sure it's still probably just as staged as the American version, just staged differently. But yeah, the American version is very much just regular trash TV.
Makes sense. You'll have to check it out for sure.
Yeah, but like it's way more serious, I feel like. It's such a like, and like you'll get like emotional watching it because like the way that it's done, because it is done so seriously, you're like watching it and you're like, oh my god, these people, like, why are they doing this to themselves? This is horrible.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'll for sure check it out.
Yeah.
So, guess what today is?
Saturday?
Well, I mean, as far as the date goes, it's a very special birthday. Stardew Valley. It turned 6 years old today.
Sorry, I had a mouthful of mint tea. But yes, exciting.
Yeah, I just found that pertinent considering, Stardew is what festered this entire friendship, so.
Yeah, Stardew and Chihaya Furu, which rhyme.
I mean, yeah, they do. That's, again, weird coincidence. Today's just been a day of coincidence.
It has been a day of odd coincidences. We didn't talk about food this time. I had potato soup, Brad made pizza.
Yeah, I smoked a pizza, Blue made potato soup. I'm jealous of the potato soup.
Yeah, it was literally just milk, vegetable broth, onion and garlic, potatoes, and cheese in a pot.
But you see, cheese.
Cheese. Yeah, I got some aged
that's all that matters.
cheddar. It was real good. Expensive, but worth it.
Sounds worth it, 100%.
Yeah. It's a good thing to do when you're having like a slow cook pot kind of day, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it's been kind of snowy. Not like super snowy, but like snowy on and off, you know?
Makes sense.
It's a soup kind of day. How was your pizza? What did you have on it?
Cheese.
Cheese. Quattro
Just the cheese
formaggio
pizza.
or just a uno formaggio?
Just uno.
Uno. What uno?
That was it.
Mozzarella.
Yeah.
Mm.
But it was one of those that had like the sliced mozzarella on it, or like the shredded mozzarella, and then it had extra sliced, like chunky mozzarella on it.
Yeah, I get you.
I love that. I love whenever I just have like big giant bubbles of mozzarella on my pizza. It's good. It's really good.
Yeah, I want to have that. I can't remember the name of it, but it's like a ravioli, but the middle of the ravioli is mozzarella. I don't know the name of the type of pasta, but it's real good, and I want to have it.
I've never been so disappointed that you cut out on what you said you wanted to have.
Oh, no. I said I want to... It's like a ravioli, but the middle of the ravioli is mozzarella. And I don't remember the name of the pasta, but yeah.
Do you mean just cheese ravioli?
No, because it's an Italian cuisine, so it has a name. It's like a...
Is it like the giant, like, panini noodles that are like... Or penne noodles that are, like, stuffed with cheese?
Reganio? I think yeah, I don't know. Reganio?
I don't know.
Reganio.
I don't do words.
Pecorino. Yeah, I think it's regano. I don't know. I never took Italian, okay? Don't judge.
I mean, it's similar to Spanish, but also not. I speak no romance. I just like romance anime.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
I watched romance reality TV. What the fuck is wrong with me?
I think I'm rubbing off on you, mate.
Kind
I
of
think that's it.
Well, I half blame you, half blame Janessa, because Janessa's the one who got me into Japanese reality TV. Yeah, she started using it to help with conversational Japanese while she was going to her year abroad.
Mm-hmm.
And then we gossiped about it, and now here we are.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to, again, I really want to check that out. I'm intrigued, just like I want to finish the fucking live-action Kakagurui.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to watch, what was it that there's a live-action of that I want to watch? I think it's Food Wars. I think there's a live-action of Food Wars that's on my to-watch list.
Is there?
I think so.
That sounds kinky as fuck.
It might have, I can't remember if it's Food Wars or if it's just that I saw it on an Instagram story and then I was like, yes, this is a thing. But I can't remember because one of them's on my to-watch list. Live
interesting.
Action. Ooh, no, it's there's a cast. It's a thing. Yeah, it's a thing.
Oh, well, that's a thing.
Yeah.
Interesting. You know what? If you find what to watch that on, I will gladly watch some of it.
I will do some digging and see if I can find that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So are we ready to jump into this week's topic before things continue to spiral more out of control?
Yeah, before shit hits the fan again.
Yeah. All right. So
do we have news?
Stardew Valley was pretty much the only news that I found.
Quick shout out to the Ukraine. Just saying.
Yeah, like huge positive energy needs to be sent their way because holy fuck.
Yeah. I mean, that doesn't do anything except maybe refresh your brain, or if you don't know about the Ukraine situation, please look it up and get yourself knowledgeable, because I feel like we're starting to get to the same energy of hearing over the wireless, I'm speaking to you from the cabinet room of number 10 Downing Street, you know? So...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been keeping up with a lot of the updates and whatnot on Twitter, like trying to stay as up to date on everything that's going on as much as possible. I mean, first of all, huge props to them for like holding back Russia from quite a few things.
Yeah, the situation around Chernobyl was certainly scary.
Mm-hmm.
And it seemed, but I mean, it's just the people on the ground that are just everyday civilians that are getting involved and like sacrificing themselves for their villages, for their cousins, their neighbors, their families. It's those people that I really want to take this moment to just really recognize. They're not people that volunteered for this. They're not people that signed up their lives away. They're not people that have any training. They are just normal people. So, to you guys, I raise a glass.
Like our most sincere, like heartfelt, thoughts, prayers, all that stuff being sent their way. Because this is definitely a time whenever they need the most support possible right now. But yeah, outside of that, I got no news.
No news.
I have neglected
Yeah.
my job. Other than the only thing I've really been paying attention to this week is getting ready for all the spring anime to start.
Mm-hmm.
We've got so much coming up, and I'm so excited.
Yes. Yeah.
Only, huge news I can think of is Jujutsu Kaisen Zero tickets are officially on sale. So if you want to go see that on March 18th, get your tickets now, because God knows they're probably going to sell out fast.
True.
That's it. That's all I got.
That's all you got. Yeah, okay, so let's jump into I've been killing slabs for 300 years and I've maxed out my level.
Yeah, so it was a light novel written by Kisesu Morita. It began its run in January 14th of 2017 and is currently running to date with 19 volumes. First of all, that is a lot of shit to get done in 5 years. They are cranking out content on that. Also, for it to have been running for that long and just now get an anime, that's wild. But then the manga was illustrated by Yusuke Shiba, began publication in June 29th of 2017 and is currently running to date with 10 volumes. That seems a bit more manageable as far as timelines go. But still, quite a bit of content to date. And then the anime was directed by Nobukage Kimura and ran from April of 2021. Wikipedia has it listed to present, so I guess that means the second season's been announced.
I've got here to June 26th, 2021 for this season.
Okay, so that works.
Yeah.
And then total of 12 episodes. It is available on Crunchyroll. I believe it was a Crunchy exclusive.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's all I got. What you got?
I have got that it is rated a PG-13, which I feel like is decently accurate. Again, it's one of those things where if you are a parent, you know how the mindset of your 13-year-old and whether or not they would be comfortable watching something like this. There is quite a bit of sexual content. All of the main characters are female, and you do have your classic anime tropes regarding that, so bear that in mind. With this, I feel like this could be something that a 13-year-old doesn't understand at all, it goes right over their heads, or a 13-year-old gets all jokes, think it's funny, or you're going to have some that are it's just too much for them, and that's fine too. But yeah, bear in mind, I would say that it's probably more comfortably set for a 15-year-old to watch, but, kids grow up fast, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it scored a 7, which is very weird for me to say that it's just a 7 even, out of 10 on my anime list, and a 3.67 out of 5, or a 7.34 out of 10 on Anime Planet. It has a high drop rate of 15.03, but I also feel like that is fairly reasonable because considering that it is a very stereotypical shonen, it's RPG based kind of fantasy thing. There's so much. This genre is incredibly saturated that something like this, especially coming out in 2021, the manga, I feel like, and the light novels probably started around when it was really, really hyped for this kind of thing to happen. But by the time the anime came out, I feel like it was catching the end of the trend, and there had been some, or at this time was being made, but had been previously as well, some really, really, really intense content in this genre of the same kind of thing where it's fun and jokes and all this kind of stuff, but at the same time has some really heavy hitting concepts. I feel like this kind of was too surface level for the genre at the time.
Yeah, this definitely came out during peak isekai time.
Yeah.
So I think that probably played a huge part in it because I believe this was coming out right as ReZero was running. And for the vast majority of the isekai fan base, this does not hold up in any way, shape, form, or fashion to ReZero. Not saying that this wasn't a fun watch.
Yeah.
It was a nice kind of change of pace compared to some of the other stuff that we've watched and covered on here. However, it definitely doesn't hold up to some of the other isekais, like That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime or ReZero or something like that.
Yeah, well, it's also kind of a different, I would argue almost a different genre within the same genre, because the kind of like joke setup and level of like depth to the characters and to the storyline is very similar to something like K-On! Or I don't know, like Laid Back Camp. Like, it's very much like you see those, a group of girls getting up to shenanigans kind of setup. Like, it's not meant to be anything more than that, and I feel like there's obviously a time and place for that, but this was too surface level for the genre at the time. So seeing it having such a high drop rate, I feel like is reasonable, because people are going to start it thinking, oh, well, female lead isekai, this would be interesting. Then they get into it and they realize what it is, and it's just, like, it's very palatable, very easy to watch, but it's also because of that very easy to drop, especially considering that there's not really a reoccurring theme or storyline throughout the show. The most you get is like 2 episodes that have a joint storyline.
Yeah, and it also just doesn't really, like, I've seen other female-led isekais like Bofuri or Kuma 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 Bear, or even My Next Life as a Villainess, or whatever the title of that was. All 3 of those just stuck with me more than this one. Like, since we were supposed to backlog this one and didn't, and then we're using it this week, I'm not gonna lie, if I didn't have the Wikipedia in front of me right now with an episode by episode breakdown, I would have remembered fuck all for this episode. Never mind, I remember dragons and dragon wedding. That's it. I remember that.
I feel like this kind of anime is summed up pretty well as a palate cleanser anime. It's one of those ones that I recommend that you watch if you're rewatching Your Lie in April and you need to chuck on something that's going to lift your spirits, or, you know...
Don't you start with me.
It's getting the time. It's getting there.
It is.
But it's like, you know, if this came out during the same time as ReZero, I feel like after you watch ReZero and you've just watched that episode and you're dying and you're waiting for the next episode to come out, putting on the latest episode of this would kind of give you that, like, relief and, like, ability to move on with your life, so you're not just sitting in a bowl crying, you know? And
I'd rather be left alone to my feelings, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, well, yeah. But that's kind of all this is good for. It's a fun time. It's not going to change your life. I do recommend watching it if you like that kind of, you know, dumb joke kind of thing. You're probably not going to remember a lot of the characters' names. You're probably not going to remember the storyline or whatever. I feel like it's a good one for cosplay. Like, I feel like if you have a group of gals and you want to get together and cosplay, this would be a good one.
Yeah, I could see that, honestly.
But there's not a lot of world building. There's not a lot of intense animation or you know, there are some fairly decent fight scenes here and there, but, like, yeah, that's kind of it. Anyway, let's put those spoiler chicken hats on before I ramble myself into accidentally spoiling stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, it's also not like we can't, you know, throw in a spoiler chicken hat and post like I had to do last week.
Yeah.
That was... So, you want to hear something funny about that? So, I finished recording the episode finished editing the episode, rather, at like 8:15 last Sunday. And then I was like, fuck, I gotta go in and record my bit, and then edit that, and then get that done. So I go through, I record the whole bit, I get it done, I get it uploaded and scheduled, and right as I close out of the browser, I was like, fuck, I forgot to throw on a spoiler chicken hat.
Oh, no.
So I had to go back in, re-record that whole fucking bit of, like, spoilers and all that stuff, and then put it where it went, because I forgot, obviously. And I got it done on time, thank God. But I almost slipped up. I almost forgot, because I went on like a full episode by episode breakdown.
Yeah, would have been bad. Ah, well.
Yeah. It's fine. Everything's fine. We got it done.
So let's go into it. Okay, so because of the way that this show is, it's not necessary to go through it episode by episode, in the sense that, like, that individual kind of joke episodes, like, the episodes are kind of a thing they do themselves. Like I said, the most connection is 2 episodes. But that being said, they do introduce a new character about every episode. I feel like by the end there's probably 12 characters.
And each episode is very much like a similar plot point to other stuff where we've covered, where every episode is like problem, solution, problem, solution.
Yeah. And where you think that they may be foreshadowing, there isn't.
No.
Yeah.
No, they're not.
Yeah. Because, yeah, there's been a couple of times when you think, oh, there's a slow zoom on that one thing, that's gonna come back, and then it just doesn't.
Nope, this anime is just totally for jokes.
Yeah.
I feel like we're almost shitting on this more than it makes it sound like we are. Or maybe for me, I feel like it sounds like I'm shitting on it more than I actually enjoyed it.
Yeah, I feel like that as well, but it's just because it's one of those things that when you take something that is shallow entertainment, like reality TV, shallow entertainment that's just there for shits and giggles, that's very simple, very easy plotline, very easy joke, just there for like a palate cleanser, and then you try and be critical about it, you're gonna tear it to shreds.
So, to that person that's going to be listening to this, that this is your favorite anime of last year, you have our most sincere condolences.
Yeah. It's just the thing of, like, I feel like anybody can understand that this kind of anime is a good time. When you watch it, you have fun. You enjoy it. You live in the moment, you watch it, you're laughing at the jokes, you think it's funny. But it's not the kind of anime that you're gonna buy merch for? I don't know, I feel like... Is that just a me thing?
I mean, so the slimes were adorable.
Really
I'll give it that. I could get like a slime pin.
Yeah.
Or if they made like a chibi version of Azusa, I mean, I'd probably get a pin of that. I mean, it was adorable.
Yeah, okay, maybe not buy merch, but like... Yeah, no, I could see you buying merch for this. I could see you buying merch, I could see you cosplaying. It's just not deep. It's not emotionally connecting, like...
There's no substance. I don't know. It was fun, but I definitely would not rewatch it.
Yeah.
Also, the OP and ED were very lackluster as well.
Yeah, the OP was kind of... was it K-On! Vibes that I got from the OP? I don't know. It's just like having fun and doing shit and we're all girls and yay. And that's kind of the whole anime, to be honest. It's just girls being girls, doing girl things. Honestly, that could be the description.
All right, so can we talk about how this show opened with the most relatable thing possible, with our main protagonist fucking working herself to death?
Yeah, death by severe exhaustion. And then gets to go to another life, gets reincarnated, because she's a girl, and the goddess who does the reincarnation is like, yeah, sure, you're a girl, go for it. I have a preference for women, which also, I mean, you know, girls support girls. What can I say?
I mean, Aqua vibes. Why not?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Just less Aqua vibe, or less useless Aqua vibes.
Aqua with 2 brain cells.
Yes, pretty much. Yeah. Also, so one point I have to talk about with this. So, she's pretty much the only person in the world that has ever maxed out her level.
Yeah.
How?
This is the thing that I was curious about as well, because she gets reincarnated with the ability, her ability is immortality, so she lives for forever. Duh, that's the definition of immortality.
Yeah.
And she then lives in the countryside for 300 years, killing... 25 slimes a day, but because she has a bonus, it doubles to 50. So she gets 50 points a day for 300 years, 365 days a year, 300 years. Maths, right? So she ends up maxing out a level with that. Then, so you think, like, when you're first starting the show, you're like, oh, it's because it's been 300 years, that's why she's maxed out her level. But then throughout the show, you're meeting other characters who have lived for 600 years, or like 65 years, or but they've been killing dragons. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's not purely the fact that she was killing a low level 300 years, because there were other characters that lived for a really long time that weren't her level.
And it doesn't make sense to me at all, because even if you think about it collectively, she killed 25 slimes a day for 300 years. So to get on her level, all you would have to do is technically kill 100 slimes a day. And you could get there in half the time, or a quarter of the time.
Well, yeah, what did they say? It ended up being like the equivalent of like 18,000 dragons or something? It was like...
It was 4,380 dragons.
42, okay. That, I feel like, this is so bizarre to say. I feel like that's reasonable for an adventurer who's lived over 100 years.
Yeah, like that's very reasonable. Like that many dragons? Sure. Why not? But let's see how many slimes she killed in her lifetime. Let's see here. 365. Now times that by 300. So 2,737,500 slimes.
She got double points for each slime.
But I mean, still,
Yeah.
that's the number of slimes that she killed. So even if we double that, fuck, I hit the wrong button.
Oh no.
Regardless, basically 5.2 million
Yeah.
is equivalent to what she killed. Or just go kill fucking 4,380 dragons. I think I'd take the dragons.
I guess, yeah, I don't know. It's just because, like, when you think about how you level up in games, right? You get to a certain point in most RPGs where killing, like, beating up rats in an alleyway with a baseball bat doesn't do shit. Like, it just doesn't. You have to kill bigger game to get... I feel like maybe we're being too analytical about this, but it doesn't make sense. I feel like maybe, though, okay, this is just me, like, being... I don't know, too invested in this concept, I guess, too imaginative. It could be the fact that when she, like, obviously gained some levels and then started studying magic, because she did study magic and magic circles and stuff, like, maybe she gained XP from that, but didn't realize it was, like, an XP gainer, you know? So she's, like, killing this 25 slimes a day still. But, like, that's not necessarily the only thing that's getting her the shit, you know? But anyway, yeah, I agree. Like, why is she the only one at level 99? Especially when you see like, those guys at, like, the Demon King's guards or whatever, and how easy she took them out. Like, she maxed the level, but they're, like, the Demon King's guard, and the Demon King himself and everything, and I feel like those people are normally, like, 3,000 years old, you know? I don't know. Anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Also, can we talk about how in episode 2 we got Miss Kobayashi all over again?
Mm-hmm.
Because we got a dragon maid.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. And then that became a thing for a while, the dragon maid thing.
Yeah. That was just the first thing that came to mind. I was like, Miss Kobayashi? Again? Really? Speaking of, I want to watch the second season of that. I still haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either.
You also pretty much don't watch anime unless it's scheduled to be watched, too.
I mean, yeah, true. But, like, also...
Oh, I'm sorry. I just spilled your secrets for everyone to hear. It's not like you can't edit that call out.
True. Yeah, but, like, also, I mean, I do read manga, and I have excuses.
I mean, I'm just going to sit here and tweet it out really quick. That way you can't get rid of the evidence.
Watch one whole anime a week. I feel like that's still pretty high otaku levels.
See here. Hashtag fun fact. Blue doesn't actually watch anime.
Ever. Not even for the podcast. I just don't. I've never seen an anime.
All right, I'll debate on whether I want to send that or not.
I mean...
It's typed out. I might save it as a draft. Who knows?
I'll delete the draft.
Oh, all I gotta do is change the password. Just kidding, because then I'll never remember it.
I was going to say, I think I'd still be auto-logged in. I don't know.
I don't know. At this point, it's too much work to try to change a password.
Agreed. Okay. Aizawa. She has the same name as, what's it from My Hero Academia, the teacher. Anyway.
Yeah, Mr. Aizawa.
Yeah.
You know, Sleepy Boy.
With the eyeballs.
Speaking of My Hero, we got My Hero coming up soon.
Yeah.
Got My Hero and Attack on Titan coming up soon. We've got a fucking list of shit to cover over the next couple of months.
Both this one and My Hero are very funny names, because if someone's just listening to this and they don't know that they're the name of the anime, it sounds like we're just talking about our hero this whole time. Or like the fact where I'm like, oh yeah, so this week I've been killing slimes for 300 years and I've maxed out my level. What have you been up to? I'm good.
You good?
Yeah, I just nearly unplugged my headphones.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. Well, as long as you're good.
Well, I have a new, not new, also kind of new office chair.
Uh-huh.
And office chairs move. They have rotation.
What?
Yeah,
no.
Right? And headphones have cables that are plugged into your PC. Or at least mine do.
Uh-huh. That's a thing. Uh-huh.
And knees stick out from chairs.
I mean, if you're L, technically they don't. Because then you're crouched down in your chair, which seems like a very uncomfortable way to sit, but who am I to judge?
Yeah. Well, I have a fancy pillow for my office chair.
Oh, fancy.
Yeah, if you plug it in, it massages you.
All right. When have you gone bougie on me?
I didn't know it did this, but apparently since my birthday, my mom got me this office chair for my birthday.
Uh-huh.
And it had this pillow that came with it that had a USB port on it, USB plug-in thing, and I just lived my life until this week, where I plugged it in, and all of a sudden it started moving.
That's great.
Yeah.
Hope you told Mom thank you for that.
I did. I think I did. I may have done that. Anyway, back to the show. So,
yeah, they open up a coffee shop
at the very last episode.
Sorry, that's like the only thing I remember.
Yeah,
is,
okay.
So coffee.
We start getting introduced to characters episode by episode. So let's go mainly by the characters and then talk about story as we go by characters. The first two characters that kind of get introduced are Elf Girl, right? It's Elf Girl?
No. So you have Azusa, then you have Leica, who's Dragon Maid.
Yes. Then the twins.
Then you have the two daughters, Falfa and Shalsa.
Yeah. And then Halkara.
Yeah, who is the elf who makes energy drinks.
Yeah. And then you got
which is hilarious to me.
The demon lord, and more coming. But yeah, okay, so let's start with Leica, who is the red dragon ruler. And she comes because she hears about this witch that's lived on the hill for 300 years, who is the most powerful person in the universe or whatever, and decides that she is going to challenge her for the title of most powerful ruler. So they have a fight. Bish, bash, bosh. Leica gets destroyed.
I mean, I was going to say, can you even call that a fight?
Wait, you can't, no. So Azusa's shtick is that she is kind of like One Punch Man, but witch.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Then, after Dragon comes Red Dragon. Then we have Slime 1 and Slime 2, Blue Slime and Green Slime, who are her daughters. They come and they say, "Mama, hello, your other daughter is trying to kill you." And then she goes, "Oh no." Then she goes, wait a second, how are you my child? I haven't done anything to give in the birth. I didn't do anything to give the birth to you. I think I would remember doing that. And then the two daughters go, the one daughter goes, you gave a birth to us by not giving birth to us. We are slime spirits. We're the amalgamation of all of the slimes that you have slaughtered over the past 300 years. All their spirits have formed into us two beings. We are twins, we are your dead slime children, but we love you. Except one of them doesn't love her because literally she is the murderer of their ancestors. Them, I suppose, them in another life. And then shit happens and then they become family. We are family. Yeah?
Nah, they were just like, "Mama, ooh," and then, family.
Yeah, one of them was like, I just killed my mom. Didn't mean to make you cry, but you killed all my slime ancestors. And then something happened and then they were like, "Mama, ooh." Yeah?
Yeah, pretty much. Dragon wedding. That was the thing. We did that. That was episode 4. Just dragon wedding. Also, fight. Kind of decently animated, but also not a fight. Because, Azusa doesn't fight. She just slaps everyone in front of her.
Yeah. We also have Halkara, who comes and she's like, "I'm so sad. I'm being kicked out of my home. Because everyone thinks this demon is after me because I made energy drinks that poison demons." And, just kidding, they don't, actually. And she has, I was going to say so many words then, and I filtered it down to chesticles.
I mean, that is pretty much the only visible feature that she has, that and she likes to drink.
Yeah, and, and that's kind of her trope, is ditzy elf, who cannot discern between poisonous and non-poisonous. Well, she can very well discern between poisonous and non-poisonous mushrooms. However, she still likes to feed poisonous mushrooms to either herself or her companions.
just
Yeah.
There's always that one.
Yeah.
There's always that
There's
one.
always one. She fits Ditzy Blonde. So,
yes.
with her, we also get introduced to Beelzebub, who, like I said before, is demon, lady, lord, person, who's kind of the, like, I'm mad at everything, but also not girl.
Yes.
And then we get Dragon but Blue.
I mean, do you relate?
Well, I mean, I am blue.
Sorry, I had to make the joke.
No, it's so funny being in art class, and they're like, so blue, and I'm like, oh wait, me or the color? Me or the, like, are you talking about paint? Like what? Huh?
So, question.
Yes.
At art school, are you blue to both, like, your classmates and your teacher, or are you your given name?
I'm blue on everything. Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
I was curious, and then I about slipped up with the given
With the
name, but I was
given
like,
name.
nope, not going to do that.
I'm sure you could find it if you do some digging, but it's not one that only my family calls me that, you know? So it's kind of weird when somebody else calls me it. It's, like, uncomfy because, like, it's 3 people and cousins that live in England that I speak to 4 times a year, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's like...
Which, I get that. Again, it's just one of those, like, I was genuinely curious.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I know your given name, but I'll never use it.
Yeah. I feel like it'd be uncomfortable for you to use it now.
I mean, pretty much. It'd be the same if you were to call me Bradley or something like that.
Bradley.
Don't you dare.
Yeah, no, you're either Brad or Braddle Doodle Dandy. That's like the 2 nicknames
Bard.
The 2 nicknames. Your name and a nickname. Bard. You get Bard, but that's only in typo form.
So, funnily enough, I joined a mutual friend in our Discord's Twitch stream the other day and followed because, support the homies.
Yeah.
And he read my username and he was like, Bard Carter Gaming. And I'm like, only you and my business partner are the only 2 people that I've known that have ever just slipped up and called me Bard.
Yep.
And I love that.
Yeah. I feel like if you have any kind of dyslexia and or concussion and or ADHD, Bard is how Brad is read most of the time.
I mean, it's fine. Like, I'm more than happy to be called whatever. I mean, shout obscenities and I promise I'll turn my head.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's like...
So it's fine. I get that.
A dumb thing that my brain does. So there is a bottle of, like, clog drain cleaner on my bathroom floor right now, and it's upside down.
Mm-hmm.
And the word clog, in the font they've chosen, every time I read it, says gold. And I sit there in the bathroom, like, I don't know, washing my face, doing my shit that you do in the bathroom. Pun was not intended there. That was... We'll go with it. Fine. And I see that bottle, and every time I read it, it says gold, and I go, no, it doesn't say gold. I know what it says, and then I have to think and remember the word that it is because I can't read it. I have to remember the word, and then I remember that it says clog because I can't read it as clog. I have to remember it as clog. How weird is that? Like, the font they chose and the fact that it's upside down does not say clog, it says gold.
Just the way your brain works fascinates me as someone who's studied psychology as long as I have.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it so much.
I feel like I could be a test subject. Put me in a lab and call me Guinea. Yeah, cool. Now my brain is just doing dumb jokes of like, yeah, if you have a guinea, then you can get somebody else in there after you've already have a guinea, and they could be New Guinea. And then you can get an old man and put them in there, and then they could be Papa New Guinea.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Like, why does my brain do that?
Oh, I love it though. I love it.
Oh, good, I'm glad. Also, like, what?
I'm humored. I'm having a good time.
Now I'm thinking about the fact that guineas are coins, but also pigs, and I actually know why guinea pigs are called guinea pigs.
Oh, why are they called guinea pigs?
Because they were sold for guineas, shockingly. But they were very, very breedable, very, very quick, and they could make meat, like edible, very, very quickly. They grew to age very quickly, so they were a fast turnover, and I think it was something to do with sailors on, like, going to tropical islands, and then they needed quick meat, and they could have guinea pigs on their ships because they would actually be able, like, they birthed and grew fast enough to be able to have a turnover on the ship of regular meat.
Huh.
And so they were being sold for a guinea. So they were pigs that they would eat, but they were sold for a guinea. So they were guinea pigs. Life lessons with Blue.
Okay, my brain broke. Anyway, yes, life lessons.
I mean, it's not really a life lesson. It's more of a shit you don't need to know with Blue.
I mean, I'm sure that will come up at some trivia night somewhere that I'm at, and then I'll be able to pull that out of my back pocket due to some strange synchronicity and be like, I got it.
Pub quiz shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, now I've shed another spectacle of my brain. Next character, Rosalie, is a ghost. With some kind, like, I'm going to chuck a trigger warning on here. Like, suicide?
Yeah.
That was kind of out of the blue. Like, it was like shallow laughs, ghost that committed suicide because she was forced into an arranged marriage, but also she was going to be sold into, like, it was so dark, just randomly.
Yeah, that definitely hit me, too. I was like, just the fuck?
Just, like, and it felt really out of place and kind of uncomfortable because it, like, you're, like, I don't know, 8 episodes in at this point, 7 or 8 episodes in, and you're like, oh, this is chill. Like, shallow, light jokes, nothing's gonna be deep, and then it spoke about so casually. It's just like, oh, how did you die? This is how I died, it's chill.
I'll hit you with a other fact that actually happened on episode 5.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
So instead of it being later on, which I know at that point it kind of felt like an eternity, that was only episode 5. Wow.
It feels like episode 7 or 8.
This episode, or this show in general, is not an easy binge.
No.
By the way, my ADHD did not enjoy that at all.
I don't recommend to binge it.
But yeah, that was definitely out of nowhere. But I mean, nice point. She wanted to wear a dress.
Yeah. And they had to make a new spell to figure out how she was going to be able to wear a dress to a ball because Aziz is going to get an award for stopping a dragon war that had been going on for centuries. And then
yeah, and then Leviathan, that was interesting. And then also the witch of the demon city, or the leader of the demon king? The demon king, which is the
Bekora.
Queen, whatever. Yeah, she has a thing for Azusa. That was interesting.
Yeah, Nei-chan situation.
Made me a little bit uncomfortable, not gonna lie.
Yeah, well, again, it's this whole thing of a petite-looking anime character doing things that are not. It's this thing of like, so the most sexually explicit personality we are going to pair on to the child-looking character. Yeah,
and again, just the, like, Nei-chan complex thing just kind of makes me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's this whole argument of, like, if you have a character that throws tantrums, that has a older brother-sister complex, that has a young attitude, right? Then you give them the appearance of looking very similar in stature to, like, the slime twins, who are children. And then, on top of that, you make them sexual. It is uncomfortable for a viewer to watch.
Yeah, just,
because,
not a fan.
Yeah, because personality and physical appearance are giving you child, but dialogue is giving you sexually explicit adult.
Yeah, just no.
Yeah. It's like, So, take with that what you will. It's one of those things that I feel like there are those kind of characters throughout so many different animes that it's not. I'm not going to say it's not the anime's fault, because obviously it is the anime's fault for perpetuating this trope, but I think it's more of an issue with the anime world in general, and then I also feel like it could be argued that it's a thing even further than that in the culture of gaming, of anime, of online conversations, of entertainment in general. I think I'm not going to say that it's even a Japan thing, because I feel like that kind of thing can be argued for, like, shows on Nickelodeon as well. So, like, I feel like it's a conversation with entertainment as a whole, that if you have a character that looks like a child, behaves like a child, they should be portrayed as a child in all circumstances, even if they are 3,000 years old because you made them a demon king.
Mm.
But yeah, that's just my 2 cents.
Yeah, no, agreed.
Mm-hmm. So moving on from that, the Leviathans I thought were a really cool concept. I haven't seen that much in anime of, like, a human morph Leviathan vibe. Like, you get the occasional big air balloon spaceship things, and you get, like, the animal, like, human, like, the anthropomorphized version. But having them, like,
Cat bus.
Be able to be in their human form, I thought was cool. Yeah, cat bus.
Don't know why I had to have that outburst, but, you know, we out here, we gaming.
Yeah. I think I read a book called Leviathan as a teenager.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. There's a teen novel called Leviathan. I've read it.
I don't read.
I like to read.
I occasionally like to read whenever I have enough time to read. I'm amassing a collection of manga right now, and I can't.
Yeah,
I can't read
I've
it.
been trying to get my hands on more copies of light novels, but they're hard to find the translations of the ones that I want.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. Ah, well. Yeah, so then we have, the 2 sisters that are the Leviathan sisters. And then we kind of just have, like, I feel like, I'm just going to double check, but I feel like that's kind of most of the characters introduced. Oh, no, then we have the, Cuckoo, who is, the rock star, bard, what is she, a minstrel.
Pretty much a bard.
Minstrel. I got there eventually. That's also a type of chocolate, minstrel. I feel like it's a Cadbury chocolate. She be a singer, who likes, some kind of very deep, into the scene of glam rock screamo vibe. Death metal. Something in there. I feel like it was. They described it as something very intense, but I wasn't quite there with them on that. But I feel like she definitely had the glam rock makeup.
Yeah.
The screamo vocals, and then just, like, overall death metal vibes.
Yeah, man, I love baby metal.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then she turned out to be a pop star.
Janessa and I bond over baby metal.
Yeah, so she does the metal, and then she turns into, like, almost an indie pop star. Like, there's a little bit indie folk vibes, which I kind of get, because actually, I really like the soundtrack to this. You got a lot of folk flute vibes going through it. I love some mystical, magical, elven flutes. I think they're amazing. Give me a wood flute and sit me on a hill. Like, I'm gonna have a good time. You know?
Yeah.
And they kind of turn her into a little bit of that, but also not. But then there's also that theme of, like, rock music that kind of trickles in on occasion all the way through to the end of the show. Mm-hmm. And then we go on an adventure because one of the slime children turned into a slime.
And then can't get turned back?
Nope. Because she needs a chiropractor.
I too need a chiropractor.
Yeah, me too.
Let's just go to the chiropractor. Group trip?
Group trip. Field trip to the chiropractor. Crack your bones. I wonder if I can crack my bones now. I wonder if it'll pick up on the mic.
Oh, heard that. Good crack.
Good crack. My mom's gonna hate that if she hears that. She's gonna, she hates it.
Send that bit directly to Mum.
Mom, listen.
Like how I send you the stupid bits that I'm either going to leave in or leave out. Send that to Mum.
And she'll go, what is that? And my back, and she's gonna go, no, you little... I don't know what she called me. Spanner. You little spanner. That's my impression of my mum. My mum sounds like this, apparently. She doesn't.
Oh.
But in my brain,
okay.
She does, according to this. Yeah. Anyway, so then she goes to... There's a tournament for trying to find the strongest of people. And they gladiator-style battle it out.
Every anime needs a tournament arc.
Yeah. and after they gladiator-style battle it out, obviously Azusa wins.
And then she's like, fuck, because now my fame is going to get spread even further.
Yeah, and the reason why the gladiator-style battle out is because there is a slime who is competing in the competition who has the ability to turn baby slime. Baby slime sounds like a Spice Girl. Back into a human form. Baby slime, posh slime, sporty slime, scary slime, and ginger slime.
Yep.
Yeah. You could do all like bands like that and have like BTS but slime.
I mean, I'm down for that. I'd go to those shows.
BTS but slime, their initials stand for but the slime.
Because they're slime.
Because they're slime.
Oh, it's like a Nickelodeon rock show.
Yeah. Yeah.
What does this episode turn into? It's just so stop-start. Our brains are just dying.
I feel like we're just not sane anymore. We've been doing this for too long.
Oh, good. I mean, we've been at this for like an hour and 15 minutes now, and I think like only 30 of it's usable.
Well, I don't know about that. We'll see. We'll get something out of it. Yeah.
Oh, I love it so much. It's so much fun.
Yeah. So after the big slime tournament, where everybody turns back into the slime that they should be, moral of the story: be the slime that you should be. Then, I swear we haven't had anything to drink. We're just insane.
I can't drink. I'll die. Just blame the food coma.
Yeah. Yeah. We had food comas today.
That's it. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's totally why I'm not just over here being hyper and giggling to myself.
I'm blaming the fact that we all have cabin fever because of COVID. We're just...
Yep, let's go with that.
Yeah. I think the whole world has cabin fever. Hence why everything's gone to shit.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So after that, then... Oh, we forgot to talk about the fake witch. There was a fake witch. They fixed it. She's no longer a fake witch. Then she made pills. Those pills may come back in the future. Oh, just kidding, they came back in the future because she ate a mushroom and turned into a child. Because, remember how we said that the elf girl likes to feed people mushrooms that are poisonous? She did that again.
Mm-hmm.
And turned Azusa into a child. So then they have to go through a dungeon tower thing, like, what's that other isekai? Where they go through a tower and it's I was going to say an abridged series, but it's not abridged. Sword Art Online.
I mean, SAO abridged is better than SAO, but...
But you know what I mean? The Sword Art Online where they go through the tower?
Uh-huh, yeah.
Yeah. So they got but it's not a tower, it's a tree, and it's been touristed. I feel like it's kind of like Niagara Falls. I went to Niagara Falls, and oh my god, is it like Vegas?
Oh?
It's, you know when you think Niagara Falls, you think, oh, one of the world's biggest natural attractions. There's a theme park, casinos on the strip. There's it's not a natural attraction anymore. It's not like when you go to the Canadian Rocky Mountains and you're sitting up there and there's oh, it's a squirrel and a park bench, and then there's a sign that is unmonitored and falling apart, and you sit on the bench for 3 hours and look over a lake and watch the squirrel, and that's natural attraction, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And you get that vibe of oh yeah, that's what it's going to be at the Grand Canyon. You're going to go there, you're going to see a big waterfall, and you're going to pay 25 cents to look through a set of permanent binoculars that aren't very clear because they're too scratched to shit, and you can't really see anything. And you're going to look through them, and you're going to be thoroughly disappointed, but you're going to pretend you had a good time. And yeah, and that's what you're going to be. And then you might read some facts that are pinned to the wall somewhere. Nope. No, it's not like that. There's a zip line and you can do the thing where you go behind the falls and you can read signposts and check out behind the falls. Or you can go on the boat that drives you right through the falls and and you get wet and it's a fun time. But then there's a mini golf course. There's a Ferris wheel. There's bowling. There's several casinos, bars, pubs, multiple stores of very expensive Niagara Falls clothing, hotel after hotel after hotel after hotel, big shopping centers. It's not a tour. Like, it's straight up tourist.
Yeah, no, it doesn't sound like a fun time anymore to me
No.
at all.
It definitely was not what I was expecting when I was going to go there, you know?
Guess I'm not going now.
I mean, it's one of those things that I recommend, like, if you're going on a tour, go for a day. That's all you need to do everything at the falls. If you're in America
Can I
and you
just
cannot...
barrel over the falls?
I mean, people have. If you're in America, I recommend... I mean, I don't know what the American attractions are like. I only went on the Canadian side. Most of the falls is in the Canadian side. Like, the big portion of the falls is on the Canadian side. There is some cool historical stuff on the American side, but, like, most of the falls is in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you have the ability to take a passport and go, I recommend doing that. But like I said, I feel like you can get it done in a day.
I'll have to try that out.
Yeah. Don't book a week off to go to the falls. Unless you like casinos, then have a good time in the casino. But, like, you're also not there for the falls, then you're there for the casino. You know what I mean?
Casinos and I don't get along. They take my money and I get nothing out of it, so I'm never going to a casino again.
Anyway, so they get to the top of the tourist tree. And when they get there, they discover that the pills that she needs to turn her back to her regular self were the pills that were given to her, were made by the fake witch from earlier. And then weird scene happens with, like, clothes exploding, and yeah, awkward. And then the last episode, which Brad is the only episode that Brad remembers, so he's going to tell you about this one. Oh my god, I'm malfunctioning. I just burped up mint tea.
Oh.
Well, we've gotten to that point in our friendship where I tell you about my bodily functions.
Friendship.
Okay. Yeah. Brad's turn. Open a coffee shop. Go.
That's all I remember is fucking opens up a coffee shop. That's it. And it's a great time because everybody loves coffee.
Everybody does love coffee. I feel like it's because they couldn't have a beach episode. They had a maid cafe episode.
I mean, can you blame them though? I'd rather have coffee episode.
I love coffee.
Same.
I think I'm going to make a coffee after this.
You should.
Yeah. I worry because I have an espresso machine, right? And I worry that it's too loud and all my neighbors are going to get pissed off every time they hear the espresso machine go. I know it's for literally, 30 seconds while I pour the espresso into an espresso, mug. Like, that doesn't take long for the machine to pour. But still, I'm like, this is too noisy.
You should put some acoustic foam behind it.
Yeah, it's a good idea. There's tile behind it, so probably bouncing off of that and making it louder. I put it on the whole machine, I put on a cork mat.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
I mean, honestly, with there being tile there, there's a high probability that that's just the sound reflecting back at you.
I don't think it is loud. I think it's just, sometimes it's really quiet, and then I do something that is, normal noise level, and it sounds really loud, just by comparison.
Yeah, especially if you're trying to be quiet, since you think it's loud, then you're automatically going to assume that you're disturbing people when you do it, so it's going to appear louder.
Yeah.
Because your brain is just focused on that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get that.
It's like turning the tap on at night. It sounds so loud. I'm going to get a drink in the middle of the night, and I go turn the tap on to the water, and it's like... You know?
Pretty much. Yep. So what do you give it?
The show, I liked the last episode in the sense that the last episode was really good at reintroducing all of the characters that we've experienced throughout the rest of the episode. For shows like this, where it's really surface level and you kind of only have a plot per episode, I like the idea of having a final episode that kind of calls all of the troops together and you have a reintroduction episode where you get to know everybody again, you get reminded of all characters. I thought that was smart, I thought that was clever, which is a synonym of smart. I'm good today with the brain function. And I liked that episode. I thought it ended on a good note.
It did end on a good note. I agree.
I like the background music throughout the show. I thought that was good. I like the idea of introducing things that are like not necessarily like these RPG fantasy style things in it. Like I feel like having the weird rock music in it was kind of a fun twist. The irony of how she gets isekai I think is fun. It obviously does have issues with the random drop of deep subject for Ghost Girl's backstory. I felt like it not necessarily that it was that shouldn't have been her backstory. The way they presented it was kind of random and jarring.
Yeah, it was so random, just dropped in there, and then there's nothing else dark like that. It's that one point, and that's it.
Yeah, not before it, not after it, just that. And then, like, it's like, I don't know, it's very kind of just out of place. So I feel like they could have pulled a joke there. There was opportunity for joke. And they went serious. And, like, why?
Yeah, no. No good for me.
Yeah. I don't like the Demon King child but sexy situation. And I thought that the animation itself, like the images, the visuals are very nice. But the animation itself seemed a little stilted in areas. Like, I didn't necessarily feel like the mouth movements were always completely, I would say synced, because, like, you can't really sync. I mean, you can, but you know what I mean. Like, it's not like if I were to record myself speaking and record the audio separately and then match them up, like, it would obviously be a lot more noticeable for me than for an anime character. But I do feel like it was off in areas, and movement was off in areas. I don't know, just felt, kind of odd.
Yeah, I can certainly see that too. There were some things that just didn't seem like it matched up. It's not too jarring, but it's, whenever you notice it, it kind of breaks the immersion a little bit.
Yeah, and personal opinion, I did not like Azusa's dress. I thought the whole outfit was really ill-fitting and made her body look very boxy in a lot of angles, the way she's drawn. And compared to the other characters who have really, like, aesthetic visuals, the main character seemed like her silhouette wasn't the greatest.
I mean, I didn't pay too awful much attention to that.
I mean, what can I say? I'm like a fashion icon or whatever.
Oh my god, it's like you used to be a model or something.
Like supermodel or like whatever. And she's like,
oh my god.
Her dress was like so 2 years ago.
Oh my god, it's actually like 300 years ago.
Right, but like this anime came out in 2021 and that dress was like so 2020, so like ew.
Oh my god, ew. Yeah,
like ew.
What the hell?
Yeah, so gross. So I'm gonna give this total anime probably like I was gonna say 6, but I am feeling kind of like maybe a 5.5, but then I'm worried that that's like too critical.
I'm gonna give it a 6.
A 6? Then I'm gonna give it a 5.5 because I have to be below, always.
I figured you were actually gonna go with like a 7, and I was gonna be the dickbag that went with a 6.
Yeah, no, I'm being grumpy today, apparently.
I feel like you're just going with a 5.5 because I went with a 6. Like, you have to be just that little bit extra spiteful.
Maybe. But my initial thought was 6. And then I was like, no, I feel like that's like not good enough. I'm going to give it a 5.5. And then I was like, oh, am I being too harsh for 5.5? But then I compare it to even like K-On!, which I didn't love, but I enjoyed.
I remember K-On! More than I remember this.
And then I compare it to, like, I enjoyed Are You Lost more than this. And Are You Lost is rated, I feel like, a lot harsher than this. The drop rate for this is 15.03. I don't remember what the other one is off the top of my head. Let's see if I can find it. Are You Lost is pretty near the beginning.
9.7.
A 9.7. Okay, so that got a less of a drop rate, and I actually agree with that. I feel like, yeah.
Well, Are You Lost is also a lot more palatable with its shorter episodes.
True.
So, and I think it's also less episodes, too. So, no, 12 episodes, but I think they're just like 12 minutes long or some shit like that. So much... Yeah, so much more palatable. So also would therefore lead to being a lot less dropped. Also funnier jokes because, you know, bat poop.
Yep. I mean, yeah, and yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of done with this show, to be honest. I feel like it gets to that point because there's no depth to it when you're watching it, especially when you're binging it. And I didn't even like binge it. I watched it over 3 days, so that's not like a sit down in one session, watch all 12 episodes, which I do quite often for this podcast. I still feel tired of this show.
Yeah. And also, I feel like the stop-start nature of this episode, too, kind of hasn't helped with that either. I feel tired.
Yeah.
Right now, just having to put up with the same shit that we put up with last week. But also, I feel like, even though we're set to cover 2 seasons of AOT next week, I feel like that's much more palatable than the 12 episodes that we have here. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, no, 6.
Yep. Okay. I'm done. I'm done ragging on it.
And again, it was good. It's just not that good.
It's good, but it's surface level. There's nothing to it.
Yeah, no depth.
It's like a burger from a fast food joint. Like, you know it's gonna be good. You know you're gonna enjoy it. You know it's gonna make you happy, but you also know it's gonna make you feel shit a little while later, and it's not restaurant quality burger.
Yeah, no, it's like, all right, this'll do. And then you're just disappointed in yourself afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, that everything? Ready to wrap this bitch up?
Let's wrap it up.
Blue, she got socials at Blue Lavender STM on the Instagram and the Twitter. She's at Blue Lavender on TikTok and Blue Lavender on the YouTube channel where you can catch out, see some fancy sketch videos.
Yeah, and that dude, my guy over there, the bard, he is on Twitch at Brad Carter Gaming and Instagram under the same handle, and you can find us here at BnB Anime at BnB Anime on pretty much everything on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, even though we haven't posted there. We also have a website, www.bnbanime.com, and a YouTube channel. If you are listening on the YouTube channel at BnB Anime, we upload these 1 week behind when they go up on the audio versions on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and other listening platforms. So if you're on YouTube and you want to get it the day that it drops, then go on over to those listening platforms and hit follow or subscribe or whatever it is on whichever platform. Or if you prefer listening on YouTube, then you can look out for some more fun content coming your way.
All right. So thank you all so much for listening. Blue and I greatly appreciate it. Next week, Attack on Titan. We begin one of the most anticipated things to finish because we're extremely late on the jump and probably should have started this last year. But you know what? Who cares? So, yeah, AOT next week. Until then, we'll catch y'all next time. Bye-bye.
Bye!